Oh, we're in the van. Oh, there's Josh. I was just going to start doing a little iPhone vlog.
Don't mind us, Dan.
Hello YouTube, welcome to the back of the van again. Must be a race day, right? So I've actually had practice and race one by now. I've not done any videos yet, but I thought I'd best do a little one just to tell you how I've got on. It's not been without incident, let's say, so far. So it's been raining for practice, it was raining for the full race. The spray was insane, and obviously you're trying to go as fast as you can with all the spray and everything. It's pretty nuts to try and go full bastard in the wet when it was as wet as what it was. It did stop raining momentarily and the sun came out, but it's now back to rain. Lovely rain. So the practice was actually going really well. I was had a lot more pace for sure. I could tell I was, catching cars up and being able to get round, being able to get round them for a start and not being just out dragged on the straights. So I kind of feel like the performance, the straight line performance of the car is definitely on par, or it's certainly close to being on par now. So I started getting into quite a good groove in the practice, and I got a bit of clear air in front of me, and I thought, right, this is going to be the lap that's gonna do it. pretty well until I had a bit of a moment. Ended up going backwards into the gravel. Luckily the gravel was there, otherwise it would have been into the wall quite hard. The back end stepped out basically. I don't know if I hit a bit of water or what happened, because I was going flat over the crest every lap, and then this next, well, the lap which I went off, obviously I was trying to go flat out so that I could be the fastest, you know, do my fastest lap. It just stepped out a little bit, and then when I corrected it, I don't know if I was off. I need to watch it back to have a look, but yeah, it was pretty sketchy. And yeah, after coming out of the gravel, I managed to keep the car moving and not get stuck in the gravel, but then I just had this horrendous wheel wobble above 50 mile an hour. Couldn't really feel anything below that, but because I wanted to just carry on, and I thought, oh, I'll just do the next lap. But what happened was I'd actually bent one of my wheels, so not ideal. I checked the car over and checked all the other shit, and yeah, it was definitely the wheel. I did get a little video of the wheel, which I'll show you now, but it's kind of hard to tell on the video, but it was proper bent. So I thought that was it done then for the day, but I managed to borrow a wheel off someone. So I got chatting to the Rogue Motorsport guys who run this, and they put me in touch with one of their customers who was polite enough to lend me one of their spare wheels. It was Mick Nichols, who's racing today. So if we look at the back left of the MR2, now got that baby on, which is straight. So I did my first race, obviously it was a practice where I knocked the wheel, so I did the first race on the wheel that I'd borrowed, and everything else was the same, and I had the worst traction. I just had no real stability on the rear end. It was really tough. I managed to get a little bit ahead. I qualified 10th, by the way, I'm not saying that. I qualified 10th. Off the grid, I managed to get up a couple of places. I got up to about 6th, I think, in the first couple of laps, but then there was a safety car, and I got jumped on the start of the safety car because I thought the safety car was going to be out for another lap, and then it was just green flags out of nowhere, and the MK2 MR2 that was behind me just shot past, and I was like, ah, you bastard. From then on, racing onwards, I was really struggling to keep the back end of the car in check. like it was in practice, it wasn't like it was at Oulton the other week, and I determined it was the tyre. You could feel it was a bit harder, and you know, obviously I've borrowed this wheel, it's someone's spare, so I don't want to be saying anything, but I've done a bit of a drastic action, and I've not said anything yet, but I'm sure it'll be fine what I've done. We've managed to find someone with a tyre machine, and I've had my tyre put on that wheel. So they're the same tyre size and everything, same compound and everything, but I just think the ones that were on the rim must have had a lot more heat cycles, because you could feel the rubber was a lot harder. So for the second race, which is what's coming up next, hopefully I'll have a bit more balance on the rear. I've also put my roll bar on the softest setting, because it was on the second to stiffest. You get 4 settings with the white line. So yeah, I'm hoping race 2 might be a bit better, but I'm not going to be as far up the grid off the start. I'm going to be, I don't know exactly where I'll be, but I'll not be as high as 10th. The second race, grid positions go on the fastest laps of the first race, so I was slower. I mean, well, actually I was technically 4 seconds faster, but I was slower. I'm hoping now, going into the second race with having my tyre on the back, I've got no excuses. So hopefully I'll have a bit more stability, therefore have a bit more pace, because most of the first race I was just oversteering anytime I put any throttle on through the corner, and then I was having to defend, and I become a bit of a traffic block, a roadblock for the other drivers again. Not quite as severe as at Silverstone, but certainly the same kind of vibes. But I managed to finish 13th. I did have an off on the same corner again. I think it's Druids, the corner name. Don't quote me on that. I think it's Druids. But yeah, I had a Mark 3 I was battling with, another MR2 Mark 3 one, and yeah, I got a bit, I can't remember if, I feel like he might have just been behind me, but I managed to save it from hitting the gravel at least, but I did touch the grass slightly, and I think so anyway. It's hard to remember without seeing the video of what actually happened. So yeah, I dropped a couple of positions there. I ended up finishing 13th, and there was 36 cars started, I think. So obviously it's a much better performance than last race, the first race at Silverstone. Much better. The car's a lot better, and perhaps the circuit's a bit trickier for sure though. But I've got a little bit of experience. Obviously, I was there the other week. So one thing that took me by surprise, let's say, the amount of spray off the other cars. It's literally cannot see where you're going, and you can see the rain lights, and I mean the brake lights on the MR2. I tell you what, they're not strong enough, because I could not see when people were braking. I was just having to hope they were braking where I thought they were going to be braking. So yeah, race 1 was fun. Like I said, I didn't have the most traction at the back. It was a bit, I mean, I had odd tyres on, even though they're the same and everything, they were odd. So now we're going into race 2. Got this, like I said, the roll bars on the softest setting. We've got my tyres back on, just with a different rim. And yeah, hoping the car will be a bit easier to handle, and then might get a better result, better than 13th, maybe. Sorry that there's no data, I forgot.